All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me here. Let's turn down the mic a little bit. All right, so this is a bit of an experiment tonight. We're going to see, first of all, if this is actually live. Let's check it out. Where is our restream settings? Restream. Looks like we're live. We're live on YouTube. Yep. And are we working on Twitter? Oh. It says we're streaming. I don't see it. Give me a second. So we're not going to do camera today. I'm going to do in true vibe coding fashion. We're going to change it up. The issue though is I'm not seeing my stream on X. So if you're on X, let me know. I'm not seeing it at all. To this day, I'll never quite figure out how you're supposed to properly live stream. Start a space. No. Enable video. Okay, no, that's that. It should be Vive. It was doing this last night. Stand by. Let me get the chat. Chat. Do I have chat? Stand by. Okay. Okay, that's working. Chat settings is good. I don't know what's going on. My chat is not showing up. Okay, I don't think this is working. Chat is not displaying messages. Okay, I'm going to kill this and try this again. Oh, no, there we go. Okay, so there is a message, so it is working. Why do I not? Okay, now I'm showing as live. Okay, great. Now I'm showing as live on X. All right. Let's see if that looks right. Okay, so that's good. There we go. GM. Okay. All right. So let me just do a post. Going live now on for Vibe Jam day 2. Don't know how I'll actually share the link to the live stream. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I'm going to do this a little different today. Yesterday I was I was locked in on my PC or on my Mac, but kind of hooked up to my monitors, and I spent a little bit too much time just sitting in the same place. And since this is a Vibe Jam challenge, kind of in pure levels.io style, I wanted to kind of grab my laptop so I could move around the house and I could just kind of work on this as I go. I definitely didn't want to be kind of stuck in the same place with my webcam and the whole deal. So I've got this kind of new setup. On the left, you can see my chat. So this is a vibe coding challenge, which if you don't know what that is, it means I'm generating all the code with AI. I'm using Cursor and usually Claude, but some combination of one of the OpenAI models or Anthropic models. And I'm building a video game. It's currently in Three.js. It's going to run in a browser. You can hit the link right there in the stream and try out the current version. So now the current version will be what's live. And then as soon as I make changes, I'll push that live. And then you'll be able to test them out in real time. So I wanted to have a feedback mechanism. So I thought about doing, kind of like a board, but I thought, let's just do this on X. So if you're on YouTube, you can still add comments, you can still chat with me. But if you go to X and you click that link, go to the actual app, click the link, and actually send me feedback, I'll retweet those posts, and I will fix these things or potentially add these things in real time, and then deploy it so you can test it. So this is going to be fun. Taking ideas live and implementing. Okay, so you don't get you don't get you don't get to see my face, which is probably a good thing. But just means I don't have to be quite as stressed about hanging out and doing this. So let's go there. For the at levels. Okay. All right. So day 2, if you're watching this for the first time, we're building an air traffic control simulator. My father was an air traffic controller. I grew up in an airport. I grew up around air traffic controls. And, I thought it would just be really cool to make an air traffic control simulator. And there's a couple of these actually that I played with that are kind of inspired by this. There's flight control, which is what this currently looks the most like. But there's also something called Traycon, which was an old video game. Basically, I think it was like the 90s and maybe even earlier. And it was, just simulating what it's like to be an air traffic controller. You can go back to my previous streams if you kind of want to see my approach and like the brainstorming and all that. But this is kind of how it came to this idea. I streamed last night, day 1, for I think 3 hours, and it was a complete disaster. We were building in Three.js. We ended up building a 2D game. From top down, it just sucked, and I was frustrated. And then I kind of started over right at the end of the stream, and then I kind of got something. And then I kept going for another 2 hours, and then we got here. So this is about 2.5 hours in of actual work on this version. And I've got a list of things to do on this stream. So if people have ideas or feedback, I'm certainly going to implement them. But if not, I kind of have a list of things to do. And the first one is, which I absolutely have to do, is because I'm on my MacBook, I am on a trackpad, and I need a way to actually play the game without using a mouse. Because currently, I'll kind of show you how this works. So I'll go to the game, I'll hit refresh, and what's going to happen is this is another issue I got to fix. I've got a kind of list here. It takes quite a while for the planes to come in. So new players are kind of sitting here going like, what's going on? What's going on? And then there's a plane. So right now I can click and drag. But what I can't do is I can't change the altitude. Yeah, there's no way to do it. So first things first, we're going to do that because otherwise I can't test it. So I'll go back to cursor, and I'm just going to kind of kick things off. And I use audio, so you'll actually hear me talking to Claude or chatting through this. So let's start from here. All right, so currently for the game controls, this was set up for a mouse and keyboard. There is no keyboard functionality, but the user, if they wanted to change the altitude of the airplane, they actually were using the scroll wheel on their mouse. However, I'm currently on a MacBook that only has a trackpad, and I need to be able to implement that functionality. Can you please come up with the best way to do this? I'm thinking maybe a hotkey like Command Controller Option, and then as you move around, there's going to have to be a way to do this. I actually don't know if this will work because normally when you move the mouse around or the trackpad, you can't do that at the same time as you are scrolling the wheel. So actually, perhaps we may have to map this to a hotkey. It may have to be WASD. It may have to be Q and E. What is in video games normally going up and down? I think it's Q and E. You come up with your own ideas, but that's maybe what I'm recommending. Okay, so long message to Claude. So I'm just thinking out loud, and this is great. If anyone's watching, you have ideas, like this is where I would be super happy to hear them. Basically, the idea that I have to figure out is how are we going to start to actually have this thing controllable. So on the current version, it's really great with a mouse because you click and you drag, and as you click and drag, you can just scroll wheel with the mouse to bring the elevation up and down. I'm thinking about it now. I don't think you have to move with the trackpad. I think you're gonna have to use keyboard modifiers, which is a little annoying. But I think it's all right. I think I'll think about how to do it on touch, which could be another part of this one. Would be I might just fire this up on my phone and then see if we can get it running. See if we can get it running on. Yeah, I'd like to see if I can get it running on my phone because I think it'll be a little bit easier with touch. So let's do one step at a time. Let's see what cursors come back with. So, okay, so what has it got? I've added the keyboard, Q and E. I've created an on key down method, extracted height adjustment, logic. Okay. Updated the UI, set a reasonable height adjustment. Okay. Implementation works. Q increase. Height is still clamped. Okay. Height indicator updates. All right, cool. All right, let's see what it got. So let's go back. Let's just, I think we should try it without a refresh. So I'm gonna move this around. Doesn't seem like it's working. Okay, so let's just refresh. And I also have to fix that, the fact that it takes so long. There's a bunch of things I want to do this one. The main thing I want to do is just get the controls working. And we want to fix the path. So what happens is when you do this, the path, yeah, it's not going. So basically this, you fix this first, and then the path, see how the plane goes over the path? I want this to disappear because it just gets messy on the screen. So let's just refresh, and I'll go back to cursor and I'll say, unfortunately, I am not able to change the altitude with the Q and the E keys. Can you do another check to see if this was implemented properly? So here we go. I'm using Super Whisper, by the way, which is probably the best product that I've bought in the last 3 months. Incredible. Local. Oh, I got a little OBS issue. Hold on. What's going on with OBS? Oh, it seems like it's still working. Okay. All right. I thought we had an issue. Okay, so let's see what cursor's saying first. Keyboard listener. Move the prevolt. Reduce the height. Okay, let's see if it's got anything here. What were we talking about? Yeah, Super Whisper is incredible. You can use local models or cloud models, and you can create certain types of. It's basically a voice to text, so you can create, certain specific ways for it to reformat your text. You can give it a dictionary. Okay, that's working. That's great. Okay, so there we go. So I can draw my path, and there we go. Okay, sweet. All right, so I think this is good enough. I don't know if there's a better way to do this. Q and E is a little awkward, to be honest. But I feel like maybe some feedback. Maybe A and Z. Maybe A and Z is better. I don't see any reason why we would use keyboard and mouse here. I think I'm going to go back to A and Z. It feels natural. Yeah, A and Z. Just on my MacBook, so we'll go A and Z for controls. Let's let this run. Okay, so now I bring it in. I'm going to go Q, E. Yeah, E is down, Q. Okay, we're good. All right, so let's just go back to cursor, and let's say, okay, great, it's working now, but let's actually remap this. A is going to go up in altitude, and Z is going to go down in altitude. This will be a lot easier. Okay, let's see, A and Z. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's going up, and we're getting it down. Oh, we crashed the plane. So just kind of to give you an idea of mechanics here as I'm testing it, if you're joining, I will push these changes very quickly. So you'll be able to see this very fast. If you're using a trackpad, you'll be able to start to play. So if you're not, if you're using keyboard and mouse, you're using the scroll wheel. So look, the idea is you can move the airplane anywhere, and you can bring up the altitude. So you can fly it up as high as you want, and then you can fly it down. So I can have this plane basically do a big loop, and then it's going to land there on the runway. This plane we can just bring in, we can just have it land. We already just crashed one. So yeah, the idea is, like, obviously planes come in, you're trying to land them on the runways. This one, I just realized this is actually wrong. This needs to be on this side of the runway. Yeah, my cousin was trying this, and I realized that was screwed up. So I'll fix that as well. There's the blue. It was wrong. Okay. All right. So, okay. So let's try this. Right. So bring this in. Plane goes down. I don't know if that's going to actually crash. So far, I haven't implemented that you can crash the plane into the ground, but that's probably going to be coming soon. So you can't bring the altitude too low. The helicopters, basically, you have to bring them up and then down into their landing pad. Is sort of the way that I have it set up. I'm not 100% sure if that's working. But see, yeah, helicopter disappears. These guys might crash. Be careful. Let's see what happens. Yep, so yeah, there's something a little bit off with the helicopters. I'm realizing that. So yeah, but basically the idea is, as long as you bring them inside the flight path cone, they should be good. So let's fix this thing now. So I'm going to do a new chat, kind of a new chat every time I make a change. All right, I want to fix some of the cones or landing paths, flight approach paths, I think we should call them. First of all, the blue one is on the wrong end of the runway. So could you please move it so that it's facing the opposite direction, and then just confirm that the landing area is aligned. And the second issue is actually, let's just do that for now. We'll do one at a time. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to fix this. So basically this one's correct. See, the arrows are going this way. All you got to do is land inside of this, and you should be good. Whereas this one, I think it's not going to land because, yeah, there we go. So that's now should be correct. Okay, so while it's doing that, okay, so it's going to try to update the collision detection. So the way the game works is, as long as you kind of hit this cone. Oh, I realize why I did that. Okay. Actually. I actually made a mistake. I actually wanted the cone on the other side, but I wanted the entire runway to rotate with the cone 180 degrees so that the cone matches the direction of the arrows. Could you try to change that and make sure you update the collision logic? So this is something where I feel like if this doesn't work, I'm going to revert. This cone is like an optical illusion. The way I see it is that the cone is facing, it's like an empty, like it's facing up to the right, but it's actually running on the ground. Yeah, that's better. Okay, this is correct. It's going to do this, but I'm just curious if it's going to actually update this. Oh, now it went the opposite. Oh, but now it looks okay. No, I'm going to go back. No, sorry, you have it on the wrong side now. This is kind of a common issue. The approach cone is meant to start in big and then end in a small area, which represents the direction the plane is going to land, like an approach. The arrows on the runway indicate the way that the plane should be landing. Currently, you have this on the opposite side. It needs to go completely 180 to the other side of the runway. I've had issues with this before, and I need to think of the way to do it. it should be over here. I think even just from a balance standpoint, this is a little too close to the top right now. I mean, it'd be fine, but it's just, I'd rather it have it. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, it's got it right. As long as it doesn't change it again. Okay. So let's just first of all make sure that the planes can land. Because I had some people saying that they couldn't get them to land at all on that side of the runway. Okay, so let's try that. And then I'll do a push. That plane, okay, it did land. Okay, sick. All right. Okay, so let's push this update. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to go back into cursor. I'm going to push update, blue runway, add trackpad controls. Okay, so the way I'm set up right now is I'm using Vercel, and I'm using GitHub, but I just have one branch, so all I'm doing is pushing. So you won't see this on the screen, but every time I do an update, I'm just doing a git commit and I'm pushing it up to GitHub, and then Vercel is going to run behind the scenes and basically do the testing. So we're testing locally, but then I'm going to have a separate browser open to the actual website, which is vector tango at scopal.dev. And then as soon as I'll just open up my Vercel. As soon as that's done, then it will deploy. So I'll tell you now, for people watching the stream, I'll tell you. Okay. Yeah, looks good. Just push an update. You can now control elevation with A and Z on keyboard. There you go. And fixed blue runway. All right. So I'm going to just do a tweet. Getting in the habit of putting more tweets out. All right. So let's see. I won't put a tweet out yet. I'd like to see how well this could work in I'm kind of curious if I could get this going on the iPhone. So let's do this. We have a fresh build. So let's just find out if we can do it. Actually, let's try to get the planes coming in earlier first. I'm having an issue where planes are taking way too long to spawn at the beginning of the game. I'm not sure if this has to do with the location that they're spawning, maybe being too far outside of the current view of the browser. You can take a screenshot if you want, but I don't want to change the speed of the planes. I just want to make sure that the first plane shows up within the first second or two of the player's game starting, and then planes slowly start to arrive after that. We're going to add some logic in here in terms of, like kind of the difficulty situation. I don't want to overcomplicate this, but the idea is going to be that, you get your first plane and then you get your second plane, and then it'll slowly increment up. So you'll end up with more and more planes as you go. It's just kind of like an incremental level of difficulty as you play. That's the goal anyway. So let's see. Okay, that might have fixed it. Let's just see what happened there. Okay, so let's see. We brand new refresh. Oh, sorry, on here. Brand new refresh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's just be sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 seconds. Unfortunately, I counted 9 seconds before the first plane showed up on the screen. The other thing, I'm kind of just talking out loud. The other thing that I want to add is radar. I'm going to just add this to my note here. You guys won't be able to see this, but I want to add add a radar, add radar with planes and your boundary, like your territory. And I want to also add a first person plane view, add a tower view. So I have kind of ideas. I've been thinking through this. I don't know for sure, but what I want to do is I'm going to put a radar up here, which will be like a top map, so you'll be able to see where all your planes are. See how fast that plane came in? I got to figure out what's going on here. This was happening before. I was having this issue before, and I'm not sure what it is, but every time we change the spawn to try to make the plane show up earlier, we end up changing the speed. And I'm not actually wanting to change the speed here. The idea is the plane should spawn just outside the edges of the view. The first plane should spawn right away, and it should come onto the screen. But the original speeds of the planes was perfect. So we need to change the spawning without changing the speed of the planes. Can you please work on that? I don't know what it's doing here. It's like almost like I think it's spawning them really far away, and the speed is indicating how quickly it gets there. And what I obviously want is them to spawn just outside of camera. So I think if I put the radar, that's going to help a lot, because you're going to be able to see the planes where they're spawning. I also want to change the view here just to see, for example, like what's actually going on. That was good. I gotta see if that was the change. And also, I think because this is a 3GS game, my suspicion is I'll be able to get like a first-person view. So as the planes land, I want to see that view. And then I'm going to put a tower, so you'll be able to actually see around in your tower, the actual view of the planes landing. Some cool ideas. It looks basic, but we're kind of just getting there. And then, yeah, okay, so let's do a count. Let's see. So it says that I reverted the speeds back. That's great. Use the camera full screen size. Great. That's great. Okay, let's see if that works. So let's just do a brand new game. That's actually great. Perfect. Oh, they're kind of spawning. Okay. It's not bad, but it's a little too quick. Okay, so the good news is the plane speeds are correct. The other good news is that the first plane did spawn right away. The bad news is I did see one plane spawn basically in the middle of the map, or on the edges where I could see it instead of outside the camera view, and the planes are coming too quick. So the idea should be your first plane should come right away, and then your second plane should come, after a little bit of time, and then it will, slowly over time, more planes will come in. Currently, I think we have a max amount of 5 planes on screen at any given time. That's not important. The idea is just to make that there's not too many planes that come in at the beginning. So this is where at some point, like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a config file. And in the config file, I'm going to have like, okay, plane speed, where they're going to spawn, how many, like all these different variables. And then I'm going to be able to like just tweak them. Like I'll put sliders or something in for like a debug mode, so that I can just change it until I get it right. I may even do that on this tonight. The problem is, we want to do as much of this in AI as we can. I don't want to be trying to just go through the code and make changes. It's kind of part of the rules. It has to be 80% AI. But yeah, anyway, the point is, this should be better. Let's see what it does. Okay, so brand new game. Blue comes in right away. I would be saying next plane can come in any time now. That's pretty good. It definitely spawned a little early. Oh, let's bring that plane down. I think it might just be also my screen size. This is not too bad. I mean, okay. I think this is probably okay. I think this is good enough. Whoa, like that's a good one, right? Okay, I'm going to make one more change this. All right, this is much better. I would just say that the amount of planes that start to come in happens a little too fast. I'm not sure the logic here, but let's just kind of ease the player into this a little bit more. So first plane is immediate, second plane is 8, third plane is 6, 4. Three seconds might be 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to think. I don't know if it's like a plane every... Let's just see if... Let's go... I think we should just fix it. So one plane, 1, 2, 3, 5, and then 5. Because the problem is once you start landing... I think the actual increase should be a lot more gradual. I'm going to say, let's just try, for now, let's try to fix it at a new plane coming in every 5 seconds. Let's just try the flat number and see how it feels. Because I think it's like if you get a plane every, say, 5 seconds, it takes a while to land them. So you're going to start getting them coming in. I don't know if you need to necessarily increase it. And if you go too crazy, you're just going to end up with too many planes on screen. So I think it might be 5. And then I think after that, it's interesting. It decided to do 15 seconds for the second plane. I don't know if that's a good idea, but let's see. First plane comes in. Okay, let's bring the first plane in. So I kind of get the idea. No, it definitely is not. This is very weird. Okay, and somehow it broke the controls. Okay. All right, this is a little bit odd. I know you said the second plane is 15 seconds, but it's not. It comes in pretty quickly. And also, the A and Z key stopped working. Is there a chance you changed anything to do with the controls that would have broke that? I didn't see it doing anything with controls. We can kind of look at the code. Base interval. Like, I wonder where it did that. Let's see if it fixes it. I don't think debug logs are really needed at this point. Let's just stick to reviewing the code, making sure there's not any inconsistent logic. And let's just try doing a new plane every 5 seconds for now, with the first plane arriving after, let's say, 1 second. I want to add a little delay, and I'm also going to add probably like a start game. Let me check the chat. All right. Okay, let's see what it says. So, okay, let's just see. So let's start this out, refresh, brand new game. That's perfect. Okay, so that's a good delay. Now let's see if AZ works. AZ is working. Okay, looks good. Second one came in decent. It's pretty good. That's not too bad. Okay, let's see what happens here. I'm going to fix those things. Those are going to crash. So that plane missed the runway. So you can kind of see because I wasn't there. And then this plane, that might miss the runway. This guy here. This is not bad. I say just to kind of get the feel for the game, this feels reasonable. I would say that I wonder if I can hold it. So if I could do this, yeah, I can hold it, or I can bring it down. Oh, that's not too bad. There we go. So you can kind of hold Z to lower it. A up, Z down. Yeah, that's cool. That actually works pretty well. So there's this plane. There we go. You can redraw these paths. So like if I just did that, for example, I can just go up. And you don't really have to go up that much, but I just like to have it. This feels pretty decent. I don't want to run the plane into the ground. Whoa. Okay. I have an idea. Okay. So I think we're good. I think I'm going to push this. Okay, so I'm going to say improved spawn rates, fixed. What did we do last? Sorry, I'm looking at my fixed controls. Okay, so I think we're in good shape. So that should work. I'm going to go check for cell. All right, what do we got? Okay, so it's building right now. Okay, and I'm going to say pushed a couple changes. .com. Pushed a couple key changes during the live stream. You can now play with trackpad. Hold A or Z, change altitude while flying, while drawing a path. Blue runway is now fixed. Planes can land. What else do we fix? First plane now spawns immediately, plus new plane every 5 seconds. Let's take a quick screenshot. Actually, I'm going to grab a screenshot of my OBS going. I'll do that. And I'll just drop that in. Here we go. Okay, that should be good. And then I'll just say you can watch live. Okay, cool. All right, so where are we at? So let me just take a quick break here, just a quick washroom break, and I'll come right back, and then we'll keep going. All right, so I think the next thing I want to do is I'm going to focus on the paths. So I'm going to do a new chat, and I'm going to say, all right, I want to make some improvement to the flight paths. Currently, every time we draw a flight path, it creates these little dots that change in size and color depending on the elevation. And the planes follow the paths great. I don't want to make any changes to that. However, after a plane flies over a particular node, that node should start to fade away so that we don't have paths that are always on screen that represent where the airplane has already been. In a perfect world, we would actually have a little bit of a trail coming out of the back of the plane so we can kind of get a feel for their direction, but the flight path would only show ahead of them if they haven't completed it. Really terrible direction, what I just said, but let me explain what I mean. So, plane comes in. First thing is I'd like to see a little tail going behind it, just so you can kind of feel like it's moving. And then when I click the flight path, once it passes that spot, that should fade. Fade, 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 slow, so that all you see is the path ahead of it. And I think we'll end up fixing this. I don't know if this is necessary. I think it helps right now because you can kind of see the height. But I definitely think we can make improvements to this. And then that way we'll kind of see a lot less flight path on the screen. So let's see what it's doing. Yeah, let it go. And then I think the plan would be fix that, and then I have kind of two options. I'm thinking the next thing to do would be try to get it to work on mobile, just because I think then that means everyone can test it and try it and give feedback. And then the next thing I want to do is probably just change like just the smoothness of the way those planes are following the path. There's this little hiccup. See how the plane kind of does that weird move and then it follows? I think a long term, there's definitely, I have ideas around this. Like if you make a plane turn and it has too much speed, I want it to kind of like not follow its path. So I want them to kind of be erratic where they're not following exactly what you're drawing. And I want to kind of add some like ability for it to sort of like smooth out the curves and smooth out the altitude. And then have the planes follow it with like proper physics. But all that's coming probably later tonight. I just want to see if I can get these to disappear first. Okay, so let's see what it's done. So it says it's gotten rid of the paths. So let's see. No, I don't think it's working. So let's see what it said it did. Unfortunately, I don't see the paths behind the planes fading away. Could you look at it again? Those who were watching last night, it's funny. If you've ever done vibe coding, we're using Cursor, which is a full coding IDE, they call it. So it's just like VS Code. If you've ever done coding before, I can do everything I can do in VS Code. It's all in Cursor, but we have this chat where it's just editing the code in real time. I'm really I love Cursor. I use it for a bunch of stuff. This is the first time I've ever done a game with it, but it's incredible. It's a little bit more technical if you're not new to this, but it's a really great tool, and it uses open, essentially any models that you've heard of in AI. So OpenAI, uses ChatGPT, it uses Grok, it uses Claude, Anthropic, which this is kind of the Claude 3.5 Sonnet is really like the best coding model. Although they released this 3.7 and then 3.7 Max, and it is very good, but it gets crazy. Like if I asked it to do that, it would go and like refactor all the code. So I don't like to use it, but if every once in a while, if I have a problem, I will definitely switch over. Okay, so there you go. It's starting to fade. Okay, That's interesting. So it's got both a tail. Okay, I think I see what it's got. Okay, it is technically working, which is good, but I think there's sort of a few ways for we can make this better. So first of all, the tail that I'm talking about should be always coming off the plane, no matter whether it's following a path or it's just on its standard course. That could just be a default kind of visual that helps the user understand like where the plane is headed. Secondly, the path, it's fading out, but it's fading out in a very abrupt way. I don't know if there's a way to sort of make that smoother. One of the options that might be worthwhile trying is just to see if we could increase the resolution or decrease like the distance of the individual points on the curve that we're drawing. So I probably shouldn't have gave it two at once. Okay, I shouldn't have gave it two at once. But what I'm really saying is, just make a tail. Like I just want that plane to have a little tail, kind of like a line coming off of it to just to indicate. And then when we talk about the resolution of this, I think it definitely could be. It's not too bad, but I think it just could be a little bit smoother, and maybe that would help with the fade. And then this is what it thought the tail was. So as you can see, it's kind of leaving a tail, which wasn't what I intended. So let's see if there's a tail first of all on the plane. So it's changing the code now. No tail. Okay, let's see. Maybe it's still going. This is where you have to be careful. And like what I really should have done is just purely done the tail thing first. Because this change that I'm asking for with the big, with the resolution could totally change the way that the planes follow. See? It's definitely better. I just need to be... Okay. It's definitely better. Let's just see. We'll go one at a time. So right now, if I do it... Yeah, this is cool. And it's still... Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right, let's focus on the path and the fading. The path resolution is actually a lot better, so that's an improvement. Let's keep that. The fading is working way better than it was before, but it's still a bit abrupt. Is there a way to kind of add almost like a crossfade effect? See if that gets what I'm saying. So like what I'm noticing is as it's fading, see how it's like kind of blocky? Dun, dun, dun. What I really want is it to kind of like just slowly fade out behind the airplane. And then I'm going to like get this black line and just change it. Oh, what is see? Oh, there is a tail. See this? Watch this. There's like a little tail behind one of the planes. I saw it. Where did that go? There's like a little artifact on the screen. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Okay, that's definitely a big improvement, but it's still not very smooth. If there's a way to increase the smoothness without adding a ton of complexity, give it a try. So this is where you just have to be careful with these things because I'm trying to keep this like vanilla Three.js with no extra perks, and like sometimes these, especially if you use like the 3.7 Sonnet, like it's just its tendency to try to add some really complex animation is really likely to happen. So you almost have to be very, very careful when you ask for things that are outside of like maybe what's capable in the engine that you're using. Okay, so let's see how this looks. So I draw my plane. I'm going to say this is pretty good. I just think it needs to be a little quicker. And it doesn't never fades out completely. Okay, it's much better, but I'll want to make a couple changes. First of all, make it fade out quicker behind the plane. Secondly, make sure that it goes completely transparent or disappears completely. Currently, I can still see the some of the nodes behind the plane. And the last part is there's a weird black line that kind of follows behind the plane. Can you just get rid of that completely? So I'm hoping that it will get rid of that line. And this little fading thing that's happening, I don't really know. This is close. Like, I think this is very close to be good enough for now. D is just to get the basic functionality in here. And then we're gonna make this look awesome by the end. Okay, let's see what it did. So, okay, it's saying it did the fade. So we're going to see if that black line is gone. Okay, so I do that. Yeah, let's get rid of it. There's still kind of a black line behind the plane. This might be the plane trail that I asked for earlier. If that's what it is, you can just get rid of that completely. Otherwise, I think that's not the worst. I mean, it's still... It's fine. It's fine. I don't want to try to spend too much time just making that look better. Still, that black line is still there. It also just might be the path. It may just end up being... Okay, so let's see. It's asking if the black line is still visible, so let's see if it is. So another thing would be great, actual feature. Yeah. Yeah, there's still a black line. It actually, I think, is the remnants of the path. The path looks like it's a certain color, and then when the plane flies over it, the little nodes or circles disappear, but the path stays black. So just look at that implementation and see if we can completely fade all of it out after the plane goes over top. What are we talking about? Plane path. Yeah, definitely going to go to get this on mobile after. I think it'll be much. Okay, so let's see what we got. Okay, it says that it's got everything to fade out. No, close. You're trying, but there's still issues. So now, actually, when they start to fade out, the entire line and all of the nodes ahead of the plane actually disappear. Let's see. So, but this is a good indicator. So you see how you can't really tell where that plane's going? I definitely think that these lines on the ground are really important. It's got kind of like a roller coaster tycoon vibe, but they definitely have to be there. Let's see if I can close that. Yeah, see, it's still an issue. No, it's still an issue. As soon as the plane starts to follow the path, all of the nodes disappear. Or markers, however you want to call them. This was one shot, by the way. When I first explained this, I said I want like the planes to follow the path, and I want to use like the scroll wheel to change the elevation. It came up with this idea, and it's actually probably one of the most important parts. It just you drawing those lines, because especially when you start getting into especially when you start getting into multiple planes, like if you bring the helicopter up, right, you can actually fly other planes, underneath of it, right? You can go, okay, that's not going to crash. So you can see the separation there. This is going to get really fun when you start to get into like different plane classes and, planes that fly certain height or altitude. And I think like I can picture, in my mind, I can picture this simple version, but then I can picture like having a ton of aerospace and doing all this and sort of like creating your path so things don't cross. I think it can get pretty intense. Whereas I remember with flight control, the original one with iOS, because it was top down, you kind of ran out of space. There's only so many places you could put the planes. Whereas when you put elevation in, you can really control, like, you could have a lot of planes on screen at any given time. Okay. Okay, you're making progress. They're no longer disappearing. But now the nodes are actually disappearing great, but the lines behind the plane are not disappearing. Right, so now it's got, it's got that part right, but it doesn't have the line. I'm not even sure we need the lines, to be honest. But I don't want to go there yet. Let's see if it can fix it. Oh, it might have done it. I think it's good. Oh, there's a black line. We are so close. There's still a black line now behind the path that the plane goes over. Yeah, I figured it was something to do with like a opacity or, yeah. Let's see. Hopefully it got it. I think it did. Come on. Nope. Damn. I'll take a screenshot of that. Not quite. It's still a black line. I added a screenshot of how it looks right now, so you can see the black line behind the plane. I'll get rid of this. I think it's going to get it this time. We need some AI music. That's another thing. I've done this for another project. I may do that on this one. Okay, let's see. Did it fix that issue? I think it did it. I mean, it's not the smoothest thing in the world, but it's pretty good. And I don't think I'm even going to put the paths. I might make one change. All right, you basically nailed it. Great job. The only thing I would ask is if it's possible to have the line fade out at the same time as the dots and use a nice smooth transition as opposed to a harsh disappearance. Let's just see if it can get this. So just you can notice that as you're drawing the line, you can see it here, right? See how it kind of slowly fades out, but then the line is a little bit harsher. I think there's going to be something. I got to think about it. There's some type of cool thing we can do there where that's a line just sort of fades out really nicely. I just don't think it's worth putting that time into that right now. So let's see. Oh, we're back to the black line. No, we're back to having the black line again. So this is real vibe coding. This is just... also these helicopters. It's funny that these planes are going the wrong direction sometimes. I have to do some stuff with the physics. I actually like these little red planes, and I like the blue one. I think the blue one could be a little different, but the helicopter does not make any sense. So I might need to change that. I kind of got attached to these things because I thought, we're going to eventually build some our own planes, but I thought this would be kind of cool to do. Okay. All right, let's see. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, let's do that change. All right, I'm very happy with this. Thanks for all the hard work. Great job. I'm trying to be nicer to my AI these days. Okay, let's do a new one. Let's push this. So I'm just going to push added a new trail fade out effect. Added a new trail, a new flight path. Okay, there we go. Cool. It's so nice to push to main. I'm so used to creating branches and dev, and I'm just pushing to main. It's so enjoyable. It's so enjoyable. Okay, So let's get a good little screenshot of this, or let's get a little QuickTime. Actually, hold on. I'm going to try something. Just hang tight. I'm going to go into Media Studio in Twitter. I don't think... maybe not. There used to be a way... Oh, I'm live right now. Oh, yeah. Edit and live cut. Okay, hold on. I might be able to do this. Okay, I actually have a little side idea. Okay, before I go do anything, I'm going to go back here. I'm just going to say, I'm going to do a new one. Could you add a proper start game function that starts the game, and then on end game, instead of displaying the little like JavaScript pop-up, could you display game over and the player's score? While you're doing that, the score should just be purely the amount of planes landed. So the high score should be the most amount of planes that you've landed in the game, and there should really no points. It's just a per how many planes can you land before you crash. Could you just make those changes? There's just like a little quality of life thing, because it's in the background every time the game runs. It's crashing, and then I'm getting a little pop-up. See, so it's getting in the way. So I'm going to go here. I'm just going to see if I can actually do this. Every time the game runs, it's crap. Okay, I want to try something. So I'm just going to shut down my audio for a second. Testing. Okay, this should be okay. I'm just going to see if I can create a clip. And then I'll play. See if there's a tail for. I think it's good. Oh, there's a black line. Take a screenshot of that. Oh no, I don't think my thing has been running this whole time. Oh, this sucks. Not quite. It's okay. Thanks for any of you guys who didn't tell me this. Okay, I gotta go back in OBS. I think I screwed that up. I think I was using... Okay, that's cool. So let's change this to... It's showing up though. I don't get it. Still a black line. Or I played with... I like just... Then I'm just gonna see if I can actually do this. You're so close. Creating. It just froze. It looked like. Okay, let's try it. Let's fix this. Let's go to OBS and let's go. We're gonna have to change this to. Okay, just hang tight here. New app. What is it? Video capture device. New. No, that's not it. New capture card device. No. Okay, what is it? Remove. I never remember. What is the screen? Not video capture, media source, screen capture? No. Media source, screen capture? No. What is it? So this is video capture? No. Application capture? So weird. It's it. What is it? How do I get this is so weird. I can't figure it out. How am I sharing cursor application? I don't understand. So it's like, it is, okay, let me just try something. So if I hit start game, oh, because it's running its own, okay, I think I know what it is. I can't figure out. So it's like, it is, okay, let me, all right, bear with me, technical difficulties. I'm just trying to get my actual live stream going so you're seeing the game, which you're seeing like a local version of the game. You're seeing it, but it wasn't me playing it, and I don't know what I did. Move. Okay, hopefully you can see that. It's very weird. I don't know what I did, why I couldn't do this before. So this is just going over top of this. And let me just give me a second to kind of clean this up. So I'll bring up this. I'll bring this down this. And then I'm going to get rid of that one. That's the localhost. So I'll get rid of that. I'll put this guy in. And then I'm going to bring it, where was that? Window capture down. Okay, this should work. Very annoying that I was doing that. So apologize to anyone. Now you should be able to see the whole game. And it should work. I think this is because I couldn't check it in real time. Guide the aircraft matching runway. Click and drag to create a path. Use mouse wheel or A to C to adjust altitude. Okay, that's working. Oh. Okay, so I see a couple issues, but it's working. Let me just go check and see if that was actually... Now are we properly... Just try some things. Streaming? Yeah, we are. Okay, good. All right. Damn. That was annoying. All right, so let's just do a demo of... let's fix this up, and then we'll do a full demo in post. I'm going to end up going... I don't know if I want to commit to this name yet. So let's just go back here. All right. Okay, it appears to be working, but a couple things. Make sure that the high score resets for me. And remember, the high score should just be the same as the points for, one, basically how many planes you land. Second, don't include any text overlay while I'm playing the game. Currently, there's something that's now saying A or Z to change elevation while I'm playing. And let's modify the splash screen to show, to basically explain that click and drag to create a flight path. A and Z changes, hold A and Z or scroll wheel to change altitude for the flight path. Land as many planes as you can. Crashing a plane or two planes colliding, something like that, two aircraft colliding results in game over. Something like that, clean it up, but that's the instructions I want you to include. It's a pretty messy request, what I just said, but... So let's see what this is looking like. Click and drag on aircraft. Click and drag from an aircraft to create the flight path. Hold AZ key or use scroll to adjust the flight altitude. Guide each aircraft to its matching colored runway. Land as many planes as you can. Game over if the airplanes collide. Yeah, I think that's fine. Away from an aircraft. Okay. Let's say okay, I think this is probably going to work. Let's see. So my best score is still not resetting, but that's fine. Okay, so I want to create a crash, and then when I create a crash, I will just see if it calculates. These guys are going to crash anyway. Oh, that was stupid. Helicopter. Okay, plays land is 0. Best 1200. Okay, I'm just going to try something. I'm just going to close... just going to close reset my dev server here and just restart. And just see if best. Okay. I'm still getting a hard-coded best as 1200, which definitely isn't right. Remember, it's just how many planes you landed. So you're going to have your current score, and then your best score would be the total amount of planes you've landed on the session. There should be no memory here or database, so it's just going to have to be stored locally. Let's close this one. Okay, let's see. So refresh, start game. Okay, best is 0. Planes landed is perfect. I draw my plane. Perfect. Plane up, down, plane. So this is like a good example where I should keep this low, cross, maybe up, and then down. Should go up. So let's get this guy. Oh, up, down. There we go. Up and down. It's working not too bad, to be honest. It's a little bit messy, but bring this plane around. This should do it. There we go. All right. Oh, we got this guy coming around. Go up and down. You really got to watch the edges. I remember this from the old flight control games. There's the first small one down. This could be disaster, what I just did. It's hard to tell if that was going to crash. So I'll just bring this guy, follow him in, and then this guy went past. Follow him in. You really almost, one thing we have to implement at some point is the warning, so that we get, we know where planes are coming in from. So you want to kind of follow that plane, and then this one you want to kind of follow. That's actually, we messed that up, so. I definitely want to change that. You got to find a way to make the planes so that if you want to not run them in to the ground, obviously. Okay, but anyway, so there's 13. So the next crash, which is good because I know all of these are working. Plane definitely is too low. There we go. I just think it's going to be fun when you can really get your, get like a nice curve. And then, see what I just did there? Like that should be too sharp of a turn that plane can't take at that speed. So the right way to have it would be with the physics that you have to give the planes enough, like essentially turning radius. And even here with the speed, like this is pretty good. And then we'll bring this guy around. Okay, there we go. Planes landed, best 18. Let's get that screenshot. That's good. Okay, I'm happy with that. So added new game, start screen, and scoring system. So there we go. Let's push that up. So that's going to be updated. So if you're watching, you'd be able to see that change right away. Okay, let's go. Let's see if I can get that video. That up, so I definitely want to change that. I'm gonna find a way to make the planes so that how many planes you landed. So you're gonna have okay. I'm just gonna try something. I'm just gonna close. Just gonna just see if best. Okay. I'm still getting a hard-coded best as 1200, which definitely new game, start screen, and scoring system. So there we go. Let's push that up. I'm just doing a quick video. So there's 13. So the next crash. Down. Plane. Down. This should go up. Actually, let's get this guy. Oh. Up. Perfect. Okay, best is 0. This one. Okay, that should be good. Okay, let's see. So refresh. Best is 0. Planes landed is fresh. Start game. Okay. Down. It's working not too bad, to be honest. It's a little bit messy, but this guy. Oh. A bit messy, but bring this plane around. This should do it. All right, new version. All right, added a new splash screen. Oh, we got this guy go around. Go up. And fixed the trail. You really got to watch the edges. I remember this from the old flight control games. There's the first small one down. this is gonna be a disaster what I just did. It's hard to tell if that was gonna crash. So I'll just bring this guy, follow him in, and then this guy went past. Follow him in. All right. Let's see what that does. So I just was testing that out. I'm just testing to see if I could grab like a clip from the live stream and post it on X. Okay, we're in good shape. So let me just look at my notes here and see what I had. So that basic thing is done. We have, I feel like this is okay. This is not, oh, so you wouldn't be able to see this. Frequency is fine. Okay, I want to try something. So this is gonna be kind of fun. So we have a clean version. It's working great. I want to try an experiment. I'm assuming that we could technically change the camera angle. Would you be able to create a picture-in-picture mode and show me a different view? Let's try the view from one of the airports. So what I'm really curious here, and the reason I'm doing this is I really want to know, like, we're using Three.js and, this is all 3D and we just have an isometric fixed view camera. So obviously, like, I'm thinking about whether I want to allow people to move the camera around, change the angle. And I just kind of want to see, like, does this game, can I put a landing strip runway? Okay, it's going to try to do it. Can I put a camera on that runway and like watch the planes come in, which I think will look hilarious. So I'm really curious if this works, and I'm not super optimistic, but it's a good test and experiment to see. So let's let it do its thing. It's one of those things where if it's not right, I kind of just have to, I'm watching to make sure it doesn't do anything crazy, to make sure it doesn't modify any, add new frameworks or something. It's like it kind of already changed the style a little bit. Looks like it may have broken it, so we just got to be really careful. But let's see what it's doing. So the idea here that I'm kind of like pumped about was just to then, having a radar, having, this may have been an issue. This may have been a mistake. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a couple chances to fix it. Unfortunately, whatever you did broke the main game interface. I don't see the original view or the picture-in-picture. I just see the start screen and then it's blank. So it might be one of those things for Claude 3.4 just to see what it does. This just may be, oh my God, it's gonna do it. Holy crap. Holy crap. This is awesome. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's actually working. Oh, we gotta fix the, okay, they added more runways. That's silly. And they broke it. Okay. Oh my God, but it's actually working. Oh, that's great. All right, we have good news and bad news. The good news is the good news is the picture-in-picture works, which is amazing. The bad news is you broke the controls. The A and Z key no longer work. I can't actually control the height of the airplane. And the other issue is you actually changed the airport layout. So you need to go back to the original airport layout we had with the two different airports and the one helipad, and then add the camera. Right, so it totally changed the airport view. So if it can fix that, then we might be in a really cool... I almost think that I shouldn't have done this. I got a little excited. I really should go fix the iPhone. Let people be able to play on the iPhone first, or on your smartphone before I do this. But I'm just too. I just got too excited about the idea. I may put this on another branch and then. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what it's got. Okay. Did it fix it? Okay. All right. Okay, I think we may have isolated the problem. Now it went back to that original broken setup. So you may have to rethink this again. Remember, we need to have the 3 different runways. We can't change the layout, but we want to have that camera view, which was definitely working before when you broke the controls and the runway layout. Please troubleshoot. If it doesn't get this in the next couple times, I'm going to just get rid of it and say, like, I know I can do it. And I want to get the iOS one running first before I do this. It's this cool feature. It's just, I think, yeah, it's a cool feature. It's just, I don't think it's the right path right now. It may be the fact it's trying to change the camera. So I'm going to see, like, if it's trying to change the camera, I would just rather have it have like a single runway camera. In fact, I'd probably want to put a tower. No. No, it's not working. I think that I don't know if maybe you're running into the issues with the camera view change. If you are, I'd be perfectly happy if you just picked one camera view in the picture-in-picture and just got that working. But we're just unable to see both views, and the game is completely broken right now. I actually think the way that I almost would want to do it is have like a tower view, and kind of have like the tower overlooking the 3 runways, or having like every time a plane lands, we see the plane's view as it comes in. But I just feel like that's just not, it's not the most important thing right now. Okay, that's cool. It looks like it's working. Maybe it figured it out. So maybe it was the camera view. This is awesome. This is sweet. Okay, it's working. This is so cool. Oh my god, I love it. Okay, let's see if he actually sees it land. Oh my god, you can see the line. This is awesome. This is actually kind of sick. I just want to see one of these planes land. I keep looking for the... Oh, there's a red plane. I don't see the planes coming in. Let's move this one out of the way. I think it disappears before you see it. Okay. Okay, the great news is it's working perfectly. We just need to change the camera angle. Let's keep the camera on the blue runway, but let's put the camera kind of at the end of the runway facing towards the landing cone so we can watch the planes come down on their approach. This is great. Okay, so this opens up some really cool ideas, and I'm really kind of thinking about what would be the cool thing to do here. Obviously, like we could have like a little option to like change the camera, but I don't think you'd want to be doing that in the middle of the game. I definitely think a landing cam like as a plane comes down would be cool. Um, I'm gonna just watch to see if it changes the camera view properly. Hasn't changed it yet. It didn't look like it changed it at all. No. I'm not actually sure what you did there, but the camera didn't change views at all. Literally nothing changed. I don't really know what it did. So it went and changed the runway camera position. Maybe it has a second camera it didn't realize it had. Let's see if it changes the runway this time. Because this side view is no good. If it put it at the end of the runway so you kind of see the planes coming down, that would be pretty sick. Uh-oh. We're going to have issues with Anthropic. Anthropic goes down. We're cooked. No, we'll come up with something. I wonder why what it changed there. Yeah, it. So, yeah. I'm not sure if you kind of have understanding where the runway is, but I want you to put the camera on the complete opposite end of the runway from where the landing path cone is. So basically, if you imagine a plane is landing on the blue runway, the camera would be at the very end of the runway looking towards the descent area that the plane is landing in. This is like another debug problem that you kind of want to do. If like I was kind of thinking out loud here, I'd probably add a debug and get like a grid or something, and then just sort of like I could obviously manually move stuff around in the code, which I actually did at one point, but I kind of just want to be able to say like, hey, move this runway or camera here or there, and not. This is very fun to be just sitting here like on my laptop, like I'm just lounging and talking to it, and it definitely would be nice. I don't. Could you review the code and see if there was maybe multiple cameras that you set up originally, and maybe you're actually editing the wrong camera? I think that might be possible. Let's first make sure we have a single. Sorry, we have the original camera, which is the isometric view, and then the picture-in-picture camera. Let's make sure we only have one camera for the runway so that we're editing the same thing. Right now, when you make changes, I don't see that at all. These are bad examples, but yeah, basically, I don't feel like it's actually changing it. Right? It hasn't changed that view at all. Yeah, I don't know what that is about. Yeah, so it tried to create it multiple times. So this was like another little mistake, and it's stuff I'm learning is like, if something doesn't work like that first time, you're almost better to restart it. Okay, this is a little better. Okay. I wonder if I could just do it. Let's try to change it. Let's just see where the camera is. So let's accept it all. And let's just see. Um, Could you just explain to me where I changed the position of the picture-in-picture camera? I'm going to try to manually change it myself. I just like to see where it has it. Why is the camera set in two positions? I think the runway itself is irrelevant. I know we probably were trying to set up like camera controls for each runway, but I think for now, just for my own testing, like we just need to be able to move the camera anywhere on the map for picture in picture. This might be a mistake. Again, it was probably trying to create a camera for each runway, which makes a lot of sense. And I definitely think long term, especially if you're doing like procedurally generated runways, I think the perfect setup would be like you have, say you have 3 or 4 runways, you can pick your camera on any one. The cameras automatically get shown in kind of the correct position in the runway. But I feel like it was overcomplicating that a little bit. So let's see what it comes back with. Okay, so where is the camera? Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is X position, this is Y. So let's just try, I'm going to try just like 550 for this position. Okay, there we go. So that, okay, so this is great. So now you can see that if I change, I'm changing the code. You won't be able to see this, but I'm changing the height. And I'm going to change now the Z position and just see where it went. Okay, let's change this to 60. Well, 600. Let's change that to 60 and see which way that went. Can't really tell. Let's just keep it here. I want to just try this. I'm doing big movements to see which way it's going. Okay, that's not right. So what was that, 100? I remember these numbers. Nope. What was that before? 200. Okay, 200 is that way. I need to go. Let's go 300 and see where it goes. Oh, okay. All right. So clearly, the way that this map is oriented is a problem. Okay, let's go minus 10. Okay, there we go. I'm minus 20. It's getting better. Minus 40. There we go. Okay, so let's go minus 80. Okay, there we go. Let's bring it down to say 20. Okay, that's good. And let's go X position 150. Okay, that's good. And then let's go even more. Let's go 190. Oh, no, sorry. Let's go 210. No, 140, I think. 140. Shoot. What was it before? 190? 150. I think that was closest. Okay, 150. Okay, now we need to change the look at. I need to change some of these things. Look at 3 vectors. Okay, let's just try this. 10. Where did that go? I think that's going the right direction. Minus. Can we do minus 10? Okay, there we go. Okay, this is good. Minus 110. Okay, that's cool. Getting somewhere. And then we just need to move it a little bit that way. Yep. 110. Close. Oh, shoot. 10. Close. There we go. I say 120. I want us to keep adding a 0. Okay, that's cool. And then where was it? It had also like the... Let's see, what do we want to do? We just want to move it a little bit. 50. 100. There we go. And then let's bring it down even more. 10. Yeah, we're really close. Okay, let's try it. All right, so here we go. So let's just buzz it right over top of it. Let's see what happens. Actually, let's buzz this guy right over top. Bring this guy down. Just kind of watch it just to see it go through. There we go. Oh, I love it. Okay, it's working. Okay, the camera is actually working. Great. Could you actually make the sky like a sky blue color now? Okay, let's see if it does this. So, yeah, just because the sky is brown. I think if we just make the sky blue, it would be kind of cool. Oh, there's John Carlo. Oh, thanks, man. Okay, this is the guy that was, I missed his comments yesterday. Let me just go look at my chat. Why can't I get my chat back? I can't figure out how to. John Carlo, if you're watching, first of all, thank you for your chat, like your messages yesterday, and I'm sorry I missed your comments. I'm really struggling. It's the first time I've streamed on my Mac, and I'm really struggling with getting the chat going where I can actually reply to you. So I'm going to reply to you from Twitter, just because that's the only one I know. I guess you're probably watching on YouTube, so actually I could probably jump over to YouTube and just mute it and see if I have my channel going, and I'll send you a quick message. Yeah, what we were doing that day you were watching was really frustrating, and it was just a mistake. I was still using Three.js. I was still in 3D, but because I fixed the camera to the top, it really kind of screwed up everything, and it's definitely a better experience in 3D. There's no doubt. Thanks. And that was, always the intent was to do that. Oh, look at that. We've got kind of a sky. So this is great. This is really cool. I think I'm going to have to move it a little closer just because let's just try. It's really hard to get this again. Let me just go 80. Cursor keeps wanting to reject. Okay, let's clear this. All right, let's clear that. And then let's go back here Oh, okay, so it moved it that way. That's fine. Where was that camera? So we want to go back. I think we want to go back. Yeah, to 120. No, reject. Let's try that. Okay, and then I want to go Z position. I want to see if this goes 150. Why it wants to do this constantly. Okay. Okay, I want to go the other way. I want to go 50. I want to get closer to the landing spot. Yes, 10. Close. 20. No. 50. Why did that work before? Why can I go here, and then if I go 40, 30, 5, I need to figure out these vectors is really, really hard. See, I totally screwed it up. Right? Like, why? I'm tempted to ask this thing to sort of tell me, like, is there a better system of doing the, like, this is going to get really annoying. You can't do it this way. Okay, that's fine. And then it's like, why, if I go 110, okay, so 115 is going to be looking kind of at, okay, that's okay. I think, it's funny, you forget right away which way you're going. Okay, so 118 is going to look at that. But then I want to go closer. Can I maybe zoom? I want to go 30. No, like I don't even know which way that's going. You know what? That's probably good enough. Let's just land a plane and see how bad it is. I don't even know if I want this, but I mean, it's pretty close. Maybe I can change the... Is there a zoom? Is there camera zoom for PIP? I just kind of want to see how that looks coming in. Oh, there we go. That's cool. That's cool. So you can see the planes going. Nope, see, this is like it wants to do that. Is there something in the code that controls zoom or POV angle? Field, that's what it is, field of view. Oh, there's like a look at point. Oh, I see. Okay. So this is interesting. I'm going to figure this out, but I feel like... So where is the field of view? The first parameter is 60. Oh, okay. So this one is 60. So if I change this to 30, there we go. Okay. 50. There we go. So there's the field of view. Or I can change this to like 80. You get this like nice big wide. Okay, that's cool. Okay. All right. I think this is fine for now. I just want to get this right. Okay, I think the next thing we got to do is we got to get I think we just got to get these iOS controls in. I think I'm going to branch this off. I'm just a little bit nervous. I'm going to call this feature 3D PIP 3D camera. I'm just going to push that up just so I have that history. And then I'll go back to main. All right. Okay. I want to try to get this game working properly on mobile. I don't want to do anything weird like a progressive web app or anything complicated. It just should run in the browser. But the current issue is that I don't have a way to control the height of the planes in mobile. So what we need to do is we need to come up with almost like two little buttons that represent the A key and the Z key on the side. And then we just need to make sure that the game runs kind of full screen in browser on mobile. Please do this slowly. Don't make major changes. In fact, why don't you just review the code and see how everything's working and try to add the functionality for the elevation for now. And then I'll take a look and see if the game runs on full screen. So you won't be able to see this, but I'm going to do some testing. Okay, let's see. Just give me 1 second. I'm looking for something. Okay, let's see. So I'm just popping this open on my phone. And I'm just gonna see how it works. So I'll just try Safari first. 192. I just gotta see. Is there anything special I have to do to run a Veet app locally in my phone browser? Normally when I do Next.js, it gives me a IP address to hit. This is true. Like normally, when you're reviewing Next.js, it will give you like a proper IP address to hit on your local network. I tried doing this before and it didn't. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's gonna see if this will work. So I just get my. Okay, it's restarting. So you won't be able to see this, but I'm getting this error message. Please fix this. So just, I'm getting an error message for the helipad, like a duplicate. So it's nothing to do with running it locally. It's just I saw it when I ran it, and I want to just make sure there's not a weird. Okay, so let me just do this. 168 done. 5163. Okay, so it's loading on my phone, which is great. Yeah. It seems great. Okay. All right. I gotta get rid of the picture-in-picture. Okay, I think this is gonna be fine. Okay. Can you comment out any code related to the picture-in-picture camera for now? I'm noticing that it's actually causing issues on mobile. Yeah. So I'm just gonna test this out here. You won't be able to see it, but I don't know how we're gonna get this to run as like a wide screen. Okay, let me try. I'm just gonna try. So sorry, this is gonna be just a weird part. I have to test this to see if I get it running. 1, 2, 6, 8. Okay, so the good news is it's running. Okay, let's just see if it works, first of all. So generally it works. But yeah. Okay. All right, it's running on my phone. So here's the situation. I want to do this in the simplest way possible. I don't want to make... Okay, I want to do this in the simplest way possible, but I'm not sure the best way to do it. Ideally, when the app is running, it would be able to run full screen. I'm just not sure how I would do that without it being a progressive web app. And the other thing is I just need to make sure that it is displaying properly on widescreen or portrait. I'm guessing we should keep it widescreen. So if there's a way somehow to fix it so that you have to turn your phone, I'm not sure how else to exactly do this. So I'm trying to talk through this because if you install it as a progressive web app, then you kind of get a better experience. But, you know, most people just don't know how to install progressive web apps. So progressive web app would let you like make it full screen, get rid of all the stuff. Obviously long term, we just put this as like an actual app, like use React Native or something and get it deployed. But in the short term, we're trying to do this. Okay, it did the rotate, which was amazing. Okay, so it's working. Okay, this is good. Okay, let's gonna see, because I don't know what we can do with the phone, because you got to get rid of the menu. But I know... Okay, let's see what it did. That's annoying. Is there a way to make it full screen without getting rid of the status bars and the input bars without doing a progressive web app? Okay, let's see what it does. Saying it can do it, I don't think it can, to be honest. It's really hard without. You can pinch in though and zoom, which is really interesting. I don't think this is going to work very well. Just out of curiosity, how hard is it to make a progressive web app using Vite? Is it pretty straightforward? Okay, I might just let it try. All right, go ahead and do the implementation for the progressive web app. You can just use placeholders for the icons for now. It's trying to do. It's trying to make scripts make icons, which I don't really want it to do, but I don't want to stop it in the middle of it. We got to clean it up anyway. I just don't like what it. This is like where you get into this stuff where, yeah, it's just. You can quickly get messy. So let me just see what it's done, because it's created a dev distribution, which is probably what it needs for the progressive web app. I don't know about this, makes me nervous. The docs is mine. You can't see this. Okay, we've got icons. That's fine. Scripts is fine. Source is fine. Didn't change anything. Okay, it's not too bad. All right. Can you just explain to me what the dev-dist folder is and the dist folder? Maybe that was there before. Okay, can you now walk me through the process for me to test the progressive web app? Is this something that I have to do something different in terms of deploying it or testing it locally, or when I actually push it up to Vercel or push it up to GitHub to push to Vercel? Just got to make sure this is not going to break everything, because this is get into this weird place. I know Next.js, it was a disaster to do this. Okay, so what does it want to do? Build and preview. Okay, hang tight. I need you to answer some questions before you start fixing things. Currently, I use PNPM Dev to run the server. I have a local and a network. If I click the network on my phone, will I be able to add the phone to the home screen and run the Progressive web app? I'm not talking about notifications at this point or offline usage or anything. I just want to be able to do the full screen version of the app. Then let's worry about building the app after that. Just explain to me if there's a new step I need to do to just test the app locally. So typically what happens from what I've learned is like, it says that it's, okay, let's just try it. What are you doing right now? I asked you not to change anything. What did you just do? No, I didn't ask you to undo the changes. I'm asking you to explain. No changes. This is a big thing I get into, and it's just, you have to, like, it's so frustrating. You'll say something like, I explained this to me, and it just immediately wants to change it, right? So what did it do? Okay. Okay, yeah, I don't care about that. Let's just see if it works. So I have this on my phone. I'm going to refresh. It's working. I'm going to add this to my home screen. So I have to go back to Safari. Okay, so let's go back. It's running. Add to home screen. Yeah, I've got a thing. I got a little icon. I dropped it in. Okay, it's sweet. It's working. Rotate landscape. Amazing. It's working. This is sweet. The multi-touch is going to be a problem. Okay. Okay, good news. It's working. That's all I wanted for now. The only issue that I'm running into at the moment is that because we're in a browser, this multi-touch problem is creating issues. So the ideal way to do this is that you're drawing the lines on the screen for the individual flight paths just like you are now, but you're doing something like holding down the elevation up or elevation down or using a slider at the same time, which means you're doing multi-touch, and in some cases you're actually zooming the app. Or yeah, is there any way around this with just a standard Progressive web app? Let's see if we get this working. Okay, so it's saying that it might have done it. So let's see. Do I need to rebuild or uninstall, or is just hitting the app on dev okay? Okay, so let's see what happens. So unfortunately you can't see this right now. I just want to make sure it's working, and then I'll go back to the desktop version. Okay, so it definitely fixed. This is sweet. It fixed the issue with the zooming, which is amazing. Okay. Holy, it's okay. It's kind of working. All right. Okay, the good news is the zooming and stuff is fixed, so that's amazing. So now what I think we need to do is, because you can technically touch anywhere on the screen when you're drawing a path. We end up with an issue where when you click the up or down elevation buttons, it thinks that it's a normal touch. So what I'd like you to do is on mobile, let's assign basically an area to let's say to the left side of the screen, where you'll have a slider that you can slide up and down for elevation. That area will not be touchable when you're drawing an actual path. So the idea would be with your right hand, you would draw the path, and the left hand or your left thumb, you could slide this elevation slider up or down to change the elevation. So I think this is making the most sense, what I'm saying, at least. We'll see. I think this is going to work, and if this does, then I can kind of just move on to some of the other functionality. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's working, but it's only showing up when you click and drag, and it's still not denying. It's still treating when I click it as a touch for the flight path. So I think kind of you need to take like 10% or 15% of the screen on the left side and just make it non-touchable, and then keep the elevation slider persistent. You don't need to hide it every time. I wish I could show this better. I could plug in my phone in AirPlay it or something, but it's a little bit difficult with the live stream. Okay, let's see if this is not working. Yep, it's working. Yep, it's good. Okay, this is really good. The only thing I would say is that there is a kind of a darker overlay that's there persistently that doesn't need to be. And I think because of the way that it works, you need to make the slider go all the way up to the top and all the way to the bottom of the phone, because if your finger slides off the end, you actually then lose the ability to slide the elevation. Otherwise, implementation is great. So what I'll probably do here, by the way, because I know this is kind of annoying, is I'm going to just I'll end up getting this working, and then I'm going to get my phone, and I'll actually live stream my phone so you can see this. Okay, so yeah, what I'm going to do is if once I get this happening, working, I'll deploy it and then I'll get a good screen share or recording or I'll live stream my phone so we can see this. But it's really cool. It's definitely working pretty good. So I start the game. So basically, I can see. That's the only thing that I want to try to figure out is why I can see more of. Okay, so I draw them in. Yeah. No, that's not good. Not good. Okay, so hold on. We did something weird. All right. No, it's not good. I don't know. Something about that implementation is wrong. Now I can barely slide the slider. I don't know if it's just something about the screen size, but the actual version you had before was way better. It just needed a slight change to the height of the slider. In fact, I might go, you know what? The smart thing to do would be go back. So it just is a better way to do it. I just feel like it's a disaster if I. Can you remove the black overlay and just make the slider a little bit taller? I guess a little bit more height vertically. Just seeing if it. I could share a screenshot. Now it's like did something different. It's just not as good. It's so weird. I'm gonna go back to. I don't know what it was, but it was definitely better before. It's just not responsive. It needs to. I don't can't even describe it. It's just it's sticky. It doesn't follow my thumb as I move it up or down. I really should be live streaming this. It's sort of stupid to be live streaming and not showing it, but I just don't want to. I'd just like to get it to a working place so people can try this on mobile, and then I'd like to move on. No. No, it's just not responsive at all. I'm not sure what it was. The first time you did it, you had it nailed. And then since then, it's not working properly. I don't even know how to describe how it is. It's just when I'm doing it, it's just it doesn't respond the way that it was when they originally set up. It's like you can't click and drag it. The experience I'm looking for is that you hold your thumb down on that area and you can slide up or down to change the elevation. Don't think of this so much as a slider where it has a fixed position for each elevation. Just think of it as you hold your thumb down and you push your thumb up and the elevation increases. You pull your thumb down and the elevation decreases. This is almost like if you're picture yourself, if you're watching this, and you're playing like a racing car game. They sometimes have this on the side where it's like you can kind of put your thumb anywhere, and all it is like how far you push your thumb away from the center point of where you placed your thumb position is how much it goes up or down. That's kind of the idea. It's really not much more than that. I am thinking it may also be possible to play this game with a little joystick, like two joysticks on each side. I don't know what the right one is, but it may be. No, the sliding interface now is completely disappeared. It's not working. You have these instincts when you go this far that you feel like it's probably we probably took this too far, and now it's like you don't really know what it's done. No, it's not working at all. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the drawing board on this one. I'm just gonna go all the way back to I'm gonna go all the way back. I'm just gonna make a new one. I want to implement a basic touch interface now for the elevation instead of those buttons. So the idea is there should be a active area on the left side of the phone app where you can no longer click when it comes to drawing a path, but that area is specifically for elevation change. So there should be kind of like a visual indicator, almost like a slider. And when you're drawing your path, as you slide your thumb up, the elevation would increase. And as you slide your thumb down, the elevation would decrease. Try a few other things. Okay, we're going to try this again. Just going to see if this works. No, you completely broke it. No, you completely broke the interface now. I can't click and drag at all or swipe and drag at all on mobile anywhere on the screen. Okay, the slider seems very responsive, which is great, but it's very small and it's pushed way too far to the edge of the left side of the screen. And when I click it to adjust the elevation, it cancels out the flight path. Let me see if I can get my. I'm going to try to get my phone live streaming here so you can actually see what's going on. Okay, so hopefully this is going to work. There we go. Okay, so it's a little sloppy, but this is the now you can at least see what I'm doing with the testing. So this is the mobile version. So I just asked it to fix this. We're going to see if it works. So there it is running on my phone. Plane comes in. Okay, I can draw. This is great. Can this work? Ooh, no. I mean, it has the interface perfect. Like, this is what I wanted. Okay, we're making progress. Everything is very smooth, but still clicking the elevation and sliding it cancels out the path, and it seems like there's still not, it's not blocking the touch event, so sometimes the path jumps to the location of the elevation slider that I'm using with my thumb. Yeah, so you can kind of see what's happening, right? So, you're clicking here, we're good. And then we're trying to change the elevation, but see, it disappears. It won't accept both touches at the same time. And it kind of jumps around, so I don't know. This could be a limitation of. I'm going to kind of ask straight up after if there is a limitation of these progressive web apps. It should work. Otherwise, I mean, I've done this. This is definitely something I can deploy, but it's for this contest. We're trying to make it So it's not on the App Store. It's just simple, simple, simple. So let's try it. No. Oh. Okay, so it's actually technically working. All right, it actually seems to be working now, but the issue is, oddly, when I change the elevation while I'm dragging, the actual path disappears. Only from the point of where I actually start changing the elevation, it just goes away. It's hard to explain. So you can kind of see what's happening, right? Like I go in, plane comes in, everything is great. It starts down there at that elevation, which is actually kind of cool. I can draw it anywhere, there's no issue. This plane starts at that elevation, that's cool. That plane starts here, but if I want to bring that down, it kind of jumps, and you can't actually see. It's really close. It actually may end up turning out to be really cool. I don't know if it has the fact that it has to do with, it may be because it's on my, let me just see if that broke something. So like my, you won't see it on screen, but I have my magic, whatever the heck that is, Magic Island or something. So now I'm in here. So I hit start game. Right? Okay, let's just let it finish so it's still coding. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I draw a path. No, oh, nope. Nope. Okay, it seems to be working, but it's still detecting it as a path. We have to block that area out. It can't be detected for the path because the path will jump to wherever my thumb is on the elevation slider. It's really interesting what I'm asking for because it's like it's a weird interface I've never seen. You're touching the screen and you're drawing a line, and then you have to also simultaneously with your thumb control elevation. So it is a little bit difficult. I also think it might be worth trying with the thumbstick, but I haven't quite decided yet. Let's just see if it works now. Nope. You can see it's working. Okay. This is honestly as close as you've gotten. The functionality is actually working fine. There's just this weird hiccup where, say, I'm drawing a path and then I start to change the elevation. While I'm touching the elevation slider, the path disappears and it comes right back when I let go of the elevation slider. So you can see it's really close. Like it's working properly. Yeah, the slider jumps around a little bit, like it's a little bit kind of moves, but it's just that that path disappears. Like if it might, I mean, it might nail it. It might nail it. And then I got to fix the zoom in. Nope. Nope, it's still disappearing. Feel free to tell me if this is just something not possible. It's, again, functionality is great. The path is just disappearing temporarily while I'm changing the elevation. You know, it always is so interesting with these models because they never will tell you that they can't do it. You'll never see a situation where the model will be like, unfortunately, I can't figure it out. It'll always say, oh, I found it, it's this, it's that, and sometimes it gets it, sometimes it doesn't. It's just, it will never admit defeat. It's kind of commendable in a weird way. I don't know. It's close, but unfortunately, it's the same exact behavior as before. I should probably see. I should just probably see if like closing it is an issue, you know? See, it works perfect, right? Watch. You know, if I want to go up elevation, it's perfectly fine. It's just, it disappears. It's the same issue as before. The path disappears while using the elevation. What other ideas do you have? This gets really tricky because I really wonder now whether it's broken the touchpad behavior. No, really broke it now. No, you really broke it now. Now it still disappears, but now when you change the elevation, it changes the entire height of the flight path. Definitely need to revert that last change because it was working before. It was just a visibility issue. Now you actually broke the implementation. So this is where you definitely run into, it's like you keep going, and it's like, okay, it's like trying to fix it and it'll try more aggressive things. And then, you know, I might try the Claude 3.7, but it's very likely that it's going to get, like, we're so close, but it's just like, hey, I do this, it's working great. It's just, why when I'm doing that, it disappears. Try one more time. It's so close. It's just, you can't accept that 2 touches. Okay. No, unfortunately, it still disappears. Any other thoughts? Let's try one more try. Remember, it's just a visual thing. It's just the path is disappearing only in the area while I'm holding the elevation. And then what I'll do is I'll hit a reset and I'll kind of like do a new chat and I'll see. I don't know what happened there. No. Okay. So we're going to do is a new chat. We're going to say, we're going to go to max, and we're going to be really clear, really. All right. So we have a Vite app that's running Three.js that is running both on desktop or laptop browsers and a mobile phone. The phone is running the app right now locally on my machine in progressive web app mode, full screen. Everything is functioning great. Everything seems to be functioning great on desktop. Everything seems to be functioning great with a mouse scroll wheel and with the AZ key that we set up for touchpads. The issue is on mobile, there is the ability to drag with your finger the paths. That's working great. And there's a secondary area on the left side of the screen where you actually slide the elevation up and down. It's actually working, but there's an issue that I cannot seem to figure out, which is when you are touching the elevation controls, the actual flight path disappears for the airplane. Can you please investigate and see if there's a way to do it? It's really critical, though, that you don't change any other functionality of the game. So this is the big ask of Claude 3.7. This is the big thinking model that will change everything about your game or app. But, you know, if it hopefully it will take its time, look at the code, figure out what's going on, try to understand, and make a smart change. But we'll see. If this doesn't work, I'm going to probably, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to ship this with the, I think I might ship this without the camera control, just the touch interface. And at least people can play it and try it, and then maybe we'll come up with some ideas. I don't have a high confidence in this. I haven't seen this model actually make a change that worked that didn't affect something else in the game. Or, yeah, so we'll see. Because first of all, see if it broke anything else. Okay, so this seems good. Okay, it did change the interface. No, it broke. Yeah, it didn't. No. I mean, the slider looks better. Right. No, unfortunately, it didn't make an impact at all. I noticed you changed the slider design, which is fine. I never asked you to do that, but it's okay. Keep it as is. There's something missing here. You need to really think about this. We're just using a standard progressive web app running in the browser on an iPhone, which I know obviously supports multi-touch, but something about the way the game is working, that when I try to change that elevation just for temporarily, the flight path disappears, but it comes right back. It comes right back as soon as I let go of the slider. So I'm actually just looking at it now and I'm realizing that, the truth is, if you hold it at all, it gets rid of the path. It cannot recognize. See, now when I'm holding it, it's changing the elevation. It's like conflicting. But if I actually just do this and I just kind of tap it, it works fine. So it means that it can kind of just probably create an interface that's maybe more of like a touch and hold. Maybe, or yeah, let's see. Now it changed the full screen, which is interesting. So again, it can't help itself. It wants to make changes. Actually, maybe it didn't. Yeah, this is whatever it's doing now. 100% it's going to break something. It's like forcing it to be visible. It's not that. It's something to do with the confliction. Confliction's not a word. They're conflicting. Like the two things are not working well together. I mean, several changes. Optimize this. Did this. It's not going to work. Yep, see? No, it's unfortunately still not working. I think you're not looking at this properly. There's some type of conflict between the two controls, and I don't know if there's a way around this, maybe on mobile devices. But every approach that you've taken so far is not solving the issue. If you have another creative solution here involving maybe a different type of interface or just some type of change in the way this is done, you can do it. But again, please don't break the original functionality of the game, and please don't break any of the interfaces that were currently being used for the scroll wheel or the AZ key on trackpad. I'll give it a little bit more leeway, and then I'm going to have to probably reverse some of this. Probably the best implementation was right before this Sonnet started going, the 3.7. And then I'm going to have to take a break, but I think I've, even with that bug, it feels... So it's going to go to a tapped, which is going to be interesting. Which is fine. If it works, it's fine. I'm going to have to test this again on desktop too. Let's just see if anything's broken yet. Yeah, see that? It's now adding buttons on desktop, which is an issue. So I'll see if it's still working. Yeah, it's still working, which is good. It's not the worst thing in the world. All right, this is good news. At least it didn't fully break. Also, my interface seems to break, though. Just try forcing full screen when I start the game here. It's interesting. I didn't even know you could do that. This is like my favorite thing about the Claude 3.7. It's always like, let's just make one more change to ensure, and it's always okay. It says it's completely redesign it from the ground up. Let's see. Okay, that works. That's good. Okay. Okay, it works. You know what? Damn it, got it. Holy crap. This is amazing. It actually got it. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to try to crash the planes. So it works. Like there's the elevation, and if I drag it down, it goes, but the elevation doesn't update. But it actually does work. So let's just do a little test. So if I want to take this plane across and I want to tap it up, it works. Oh, it kind of was working. Tap it up, it works. Tap it down, it works. If I take this plane and I want to hold down, it works. Hold up, it works. Okay, it's perfect. All right, I honestly can't believe it, but you got it working. The only complaint I have is the elevation doesn't actually update. I'm not sure if you intended the elevation to show the elevation of the plane currently, or if you intended to show the target elevation. My advice here would be to have that elevation change according to the elevation that we're setting for the airplane, not the current elevation for the airplane, since it's directly between the up arrow and the down arrow. So the way I would imagine it is like as you draw the plane, that's its current elevation, and as you drag it down, that number will drop. I don't even, the elevation feels way off, but whatever, we'll figure that out after. And then if this works, I might just get it to zoom in a bit on mobile and maybe fix the see that? I asked it to change the height, and you see what it did? It like this is so funny, right? Okay, let's fix the elevation display. And then it's like, let's also make sure the display is updated when you first select the aircraft. Now let's make sure the method is properly showing. That's fine. Finally, let's make our elevation buttons are clearly visible and attractive. It's like, never mentioned that. Never said there's an issue. Like, what did it decide to do with these elevation buttons? Maybe it'll be great. That's not bad. Okay. Yeah, I like it. See, every once in a while it gets it great. Every once in a while. All right, I love it. I think it works. I'm sorry, I was a little hard on it. Okay. All right, I was a little hard on you before, but you're doing a great job. It looks perfect. It's functioning perfect. I have no complaints. I do have a couple minor things on mobile. Currently, the mobile view is pretty zoomed out compared to the desktop view, and I'm not sure why. Could you adjust this so that the mobile view is zoomed in a little bit closer to the airports? So you can kind of see this. I'll flip back OBS. So this is obviously my this is my view for mobile, which I'll kind of bring down. This is the mobile view, and then I'll grab the desktop view and I'll kind of bring it down here so you can see this is mobile and this is desktop. So what I'll do is I'll start my desktop game at the same time so you can kind of see the difference. It's trying to do full screen. That's another issue I got to fix. Yeah, I got to try to fix why it's doing full screen, but at least we can kind of see what happens here on mobile. Curious what it's saying. Oh my god. See, this is it. I'm going to let it do this, but it's like, no. Like, it wants to change the camera view on, like what? I mean, again, I gotta let it go because it's been on a roll, but like, it's trying to create a new camera. It's just something about the zoom. I may have to roll this back, but we'll see. No, it didn't work. I'm going to roll that back. All right. I'm trying to fix an issue with the mobile version of the game looking a little further zoomed out than the desktop version. This isn't a camera issue. We're not changing cameras or making a special version for mobile. There's just something about the zoom of the game that's different on mobile. If there's a way that you can fix this, please do. I don't think we need special cameras for mobile or desktop, but let me see what kind of solution you come up with. That's too bad. It's just a zoom in real issue. This is definitely, and I think I need to. There's actually a lot of like things now to do. The mobile thing is really challenging. Okay, the zoom looks a little better because now I have to really like make sure it works on both. The features, it's just a lot, but it's all good. People will be, I think, more able to play. That view is definitely better. Okay, that looks good. If I don't know if it fixed that. It definitely looks more consistent now. Okay, this is pretty close. Okay, camera view looks great. One other issue with your controls is the interface looks great, but if I accidentally click just outside of the interface, it actually jumps the path. So what I would like to do is just disable any touch operation in terms of path change for like a buffer area around the elevation buttons. I worry that's going to cause an issue again because I don't know if it's going to like understand the difference. But the idea being that, you know, when I click here, I need to be able to accidentally click above it and it not jump the path like it was doing before. So this is really good though. See how it just jumped because I accidentally clicked the wrong thing? I don't know what it's doing. Hopefully this works. I'm pushing through because I don't know if I'll jump back into this tonight, but I mean, I've been streaming now for 3 hours. I think I may update the name. I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna just go with Vector Tango. It just makes sense. And fly control sounds a little bit too well. It's close to flight control, but it's also fly. Like sounds like fly, like an actual fly. Um, Hopefully this is going to get this right. Not break anything else. So far this is good. Should like to change that elevation. Okay, I have a few more things. Okay, let's see how this works. Yeah, I think it's working. Okay, cool. All right, I'm happy with that. All right. Okay, that's perfect. Other quick things to change are on desktop only. When I launch the app, it jumps my entire browser to full screen. I think that might have to do with something we changed on mobile, but can you please remove that functionality on desktop? Also on desktop, because we're not using a touch interface, we should be detecting that we're on desktop versus mobile. And on desktop, the up arrow and down arrow should actually change to an A key and a Z key respectively to kind of indicate that the user can use the A key and the Z key. I should have asked it to do a bunch at once. The other thing is this, we just need to change the interface so that on mobile we have the mobile instructions and on desktop we have the desktop instructions. This is working pretty good though. I gotta say I'm pretty actually impressed. It's a little bit small to deal with, but I think that's a smaller issue. I probably end up zooming this in more on desktop anyway. Maybe just a camera thing. We'll just zoom our camera in. I think it might have fixed the issue. Yes, sweet. Okay, it works great on mobile, so that issue's fixed. So it's just working on the Z. It's coming along here. See if it gets it. Still doing it. Okay, if this works, change the name. Change the control instructions. And I think we're laughing. Okay, that works. There's just a couple more small issues. On desktop now, there's sort of a darker area on the left-hand side near where the interface is, which is unnecessary. So don't have that darker area there. And then the other thing is, now that we have kind of a mobile or desktop detection, can you change the splash screen to kind of do the same exact interface with just like a slightly different view? So you have kind of the instructions in one little spot, and then the controls should explain the controls for touch, and the desktop should have a different explanation with the A and Z key or scrolling the mouse wheel. And then the last thing is, across the entire app, let's change the name to Vector Tango. That's VECTOR, and then a period, and then TANGO, and then a period. All right. So I'm giving it a bunch of instructions now just because it seems to be getting it. And I don't know, like, just you're kind of in that groove. I don't know what it is with these models. Sometimes they kind of get the context and things generally work, and sometimes they don't. And right now they're working. So I'm going to just give it a bunch of stuff at once and see if it can figure it out. So if this works, we have this fixed. It's going to get rid of this little black area on the left. It's going to improve the instructions. It can change the name, and we might be home free for the night. Didn't seem like it got rid of that dark area though. Let's see if it's working. Yeah, that's fine. Well, maybe it got it now. Okay, this is generally good. We just need one little space between the vector dot and the tango. And then the black kind of more dark area on the left side on desktop is still showing up. And on desktop, when you are holding the A and Z key, the elevation doesn't change like it does on mobile. See if it gets this. It's cool to watch it update both at the same time. We're so close. I just hope that it can just somehow just fix those issues without... Okay, it's still, that dark area is still there, but let's see if this works. Okay. Yeah, elevation changes. That's great. Okay. Okay, everything is working except there is still a persistent dark band on the left side of the screen on desktop. You can take a screenshot if you need to. And while this is happening, I'm going to go check the camera view because we did this before. And I just want to see if the camera view, if there's a way to change the it still has that band. It's so weird. Sorry to interrupt you, but there doesn't need to be a dark overlay for the buffer zone on desktop or mobile. It's completely useless to have that visual indication as that dark band. So if you're running into issues with it, just get rid of the dark band completely. It's like it just doesn't take the obvious answers. Like, why is there a dark band? I'm looking at mobile, and on mobile, it's like it darkens, but there's no value of that. Like that little dark band does nothing. So I think it's like it just probably just created way more complexity. It's crazy. It's just crazy how much it tries to do. Like it will just go through and it'll make so many changes, but it's just like it's just right there. And should I just go figure out what it is? Of course, but we're vibe coding. Yeah. Definitely did not change it. he made a lot of changes and went through and changed a lot of code, but I still see that buffer zone on desktop. It looks like it's gone on mobile, but there's still a dark band persistently always on the left side of the screen on mobile or on desktop, no matter what I do. Like, I just find this so funny. It's like, okay, there's a dark band. Why is there a dark band, right? Like, there's something in there visually in the CSS that's causing that. Any text or thought that says let's programmatically create elevation controls without any dark bands feels completely crazy to me. But, it's sort of like you just accept it and you say, okay, let's see if it does that. The funny part is it'll probably break the controls, do something crazy, but still won't fix that band. Like, I wonder what that actually is. I don't get it. I have to not look at, like, yeah, it broke the touch interface now. What it's doing. All right, here's the thing. I don't know what to tell you. You've done 11 different things that you've tried to do the most incredibly complex details to do this. I'm telling you, there is a single band on the left side of the screen. Once the game starts, you can look at it on the screen. On the screenshot, it is the left 10% of the screen where that area is that's displaying the interface. It's just a dark band. I don't know how else to explain this to you. Like, you're overthinking this. This shouldn't require a complete re-engineering of the app. Look at the CSS code, try to figure out where that band is, and fix it. It's funny to talk like this to these AIs because like I could just go try to figure it out myself, but yet I'm relying on them to do it, and then I'm asking for. I want to get rid of this icon script. We're asking for. I'm gonna get rid of this debug. And it's like I could just do it. Feedback widget. Feedback widget, feedback widget. That's all that. Safe area, touch action, body margin, height, background color, canvas width, touch, fixed, width, text shadow, score panel, game overlay, game overlay, game overlay. Still has it there. It's unreal. I wonder if I could just see if there's something. It's the elevation zone. Color. Nope, it's still there. Just look in the elevation zone div and see if there is either a black or a not transparent or something in there that's causing that issue. So it's in that elevation zone. Elevation zone. Like, look at this. Fix for the left, like, fix for the left band. Like, what is it doing? Ensure no elements create dark band. Like, this is, like, so funny. Where is that elevation zone? Where is that coming from then? It keeps saying that it's finding it, but it's not. I'm going to just restart this after this and see if there's something just weird. I just feel like it's going to cause more issues. I might just go back and restore and then... Okay, yeah, it's done. We got to kill it. It's just lost its marbles. We're going to go all the way back to where that first thing was. No. Okay, so we're just going to do is we're just closing the app, relaunch it, yeah, just to make sure it's working on mobile. Looks fine. Okay, and then let's just go to regular Claude. There's a slightly dark vertical band on the left side of the screen near the elevation controls. It shows up on mobile when I click and hold on an airplane, and it shows up on desktop all the time. Could you look at the style and the code and just try to identify what might be causing that? I got a lot of errors and stuff right now. I gotta clean this up. It's gonna be probably a disaster. So hopefully that did it. Look at that. Gone. This is just, it's just something, I don't know what it is. It's, they loses context. It overthinks it. It's like, that's how quickly that changed. And it's gone completely. I should have known. That was my own fault. Okay, let's just see if it's working still. Okay, that looks great. Okay, perfect. Desktop looks great. Let's just see if there's a start screen. Yeah, looks great. Okay, perfect. Okay, we're great. One more thing. Can you I forget now what I was going to actually ask it to do. It was a small thing. Color, change, text. Oh, we need to fix these errors. It's not actually. Can you run a build and troubleshoot some of the errors I'm seeing? Everything's working great in the app. These are just showing up in my Cursor IDE. This is probably lint errors. Okay, it's gone. Good. Okay, I think that solved those. That's great. Make sure this is still working. Oh, I want to zoom the camera in a little bit. Somewhere along the way, the scoring interface with the planes landed and the best score moved to plain text in the top right of the screen as opposed to a nice centered view that kind of shows the top score. If you look at the way the elevation controls work, that's probably the nicest style. If there's just a way you could center those, put those at the top, and just make them look a little bit better. Wait, I'm going to say that better. Could you improve the style of the current planes landed and best score? Center them at the top of the interface and just make them look a little bit nicer. They were actually good before. I wonder if I can grab a screenshot of it. Let me just go see if I can do that. I have the live screen. I have the video from before. Let me just see. In case it tries to do something crazy. No, oh yeah, here we go. It's probably gonna do something better than this, but you wouldn't see that. I just grabbed a screenshot from yesterday. It'll probably do a better job, but see how it looks. It doesn't look like you changed it. No. No, it looks like you changed it on desktop and not, or on mobile only and not desktop. That's definitely way worse. Just go back to the same white text, reduce the size, and put them side by side, planes landed and best. Don't do 2 rows, and make sure that they look essentially the same on desktop and mobile. Nothing is ever easy. I don't know why I changed that. I should have just left it. It's just, it looks really bad on desktop now, or mobile now, obviously. I don't know if you can still see my, you can't actually see my mobile. There we go. Oh, that doesn't work. Just put it back to literally nothing. I mean, you just put it back exactly the way it was before. It should be centered. Here, I'm going to send you a screenshot of how it looked on the original version before you changed it. So there's a good chance just to give it the screenshot. It should be centered and fairly small right at the top of the screen on desktop and mobile. Okay, hopefully that works. It looks great on mobile, but you didn't change it on desktop. Another issue with the mobile desktop thing, like, and I'm sure with the fly.peter.com, right, is I'm pretty confident he didn't do any of this. Maybe he made some changes, but the detection of desktop mobile is always great, but it then causes this problem where you're going to change things. It's just going to constantly have to remind it to go and check both. And then if you were running like one of these, weird, so you just tried to change it again, it's fine. It's still not changing on desktop. You're still just making changes on mobile. The original version you had on mobile, last change was perfect. You're not actually making the change at all on desktop. I don't see a single thing changing. I'm getting frustrated. This is bad. I've been at this too long. I just want to get this in a good place so I can just update it and then go take a break. You can just see it. It's still changing it on mobile. Still changing it on mobile. I have to stop you and ask you to please review the code base that you are still consistently making changes on mobile. I'm watching it get changed live, but you are not touching desktop at all. Please review the entire code base before you make your next change. I'd have to look at now what is the proper way to do this on desktop and mobile for just a really simple. Oh, it's asking me to do a hard refresh. No, I have not done that. Thank you for the advice. Oh, there we go. Interesting. Okay. Great. Thank you. Looks good. Okay, it's now showing up desktop. Looks great. One last change. Could you just make it a little smaller on mobile only? It looked pretty good before. No, it's still not smaller on mobile. This could be a cache issue. I don't know. Let's close this for a second. You're gonna have to bear with me. I'm still struggling with this. I'm not sure if you're just not understanding. You were changing it on mobile before constantly when I said desktop, and now I'm asking you to change mobile and you're not changing it on mobile. So please review the code and make sure you're understanding. I just want to change the size smaller on mobile only. I wonder if it changed it on desktop now. Of course it did. It went back to... I'm going to have to reset this. Okay, there we go. So why does it do that? Empty cache and hard reload. Every time I refresh. something is fundamentally wrong about how you're doing this. You're not actually making the changes on mobile, and when I do a hard refresh with a cache clear on desktop, it shows up, but if I do a regular refresh after that, it goes back to the original version. Please look at how it's done on desktop and mobile and make sure that it is the same interface on both, but just make sure the mobile version is a little bit smaller. I'm just into a bad mental spot right now, so I think what I'll do, if this doesn't work here, I'll just go ahead and kill the stream because I'm really close, and I'll just go ahead and do these final changes and get this pushed, and yeah, and then I'll get it shipped and do a post. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because I'm just running into problems with this at this point. So I think that's it for now. That's a good day 2. I'm going to just go ahead and close the stream and get this final part done. And yeah, I'll be back. Either might jump back in something tonight.